Go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another How To episode from Canopy Community. Today, I have the great honor and pleasure to have here with me my good friend Chuck Goldstone, and we are here to talk about how to tell your story, or if you want, on a more descriptive way, how to make people listen, like you, and say, "Tell me more." So, Chuck, first of all, in a couple of sentences, who's Chuck Goldstone? And why did you decide to write this book?
Well, let me start by telling you who I'm not. I work a lot with businesses. I work with a lot of startups now. Been doing this communication work since the dawn of time. What I am not is I'm not a technical person. I'm not a quantitative person. I'm not a numbers person. But if I have any kind of a talent at all, it's really understanding what the power of story is and how people who are successful have really been able to leverage and even exploit it for not for evil but for good. Um, what I'm trying to do is, in my many decades of experience watching some people who have been extraordinary and learning some things on my own, developing some approaches on my own, is to try to raise the water level, is to try to get people who just to be better at telling the world what they do. I think the success of that we have is not just based on the idea that we come up with. It might change the world and might make us rich and famous, and we hope. But coming up with that idea is always the second most success, the most important thing to do if we're going to be successful. And the most important is being able to convince others. And my job is to just be a catalyst for people to find their own voice, to find their story. And I've been teaching this for some decades. And finally, after 8 years of procrastination, I finally committed it to a book. And I will just say, and as an aside, when people say, how long did it take to write the book? I say it's 8 years and 6 months. 6 months worth of writing. The 8 years was the procrastination. But let me go off on just a one quick tangent, and that is, we all have and this is what is just coincidental and kind of funny, and that is we all have a pile of books by our nightstand near the bed, and it continues to get larger and larger. Books we intend to read, and we point at the pile, and you say, "I'm going to start on this one next week, for sure," and if not, maybe the week after, and 2 weeks at the most. And this pile has been becoming Mount
Growing.
Everest. And I swear to you, I looked at what was at the bottom of the pile, a book that I keep saying I'm going to start to read, and I swear to you, it was a book about procrastination. So, but finally, after 8 years, I finally figured out how to tell the story. Now, keep in mind that this is my story. The hardest story we tell is our own. And that's why we need people to inspire us, people to give us direction. And I
Yeah.
had to turn friends who had to kick me gently to say, finally get the book done.
Yes, I understand that. So, Chuck, let me start by the very common question, and that I listen from many people that I probably is pretty much connected with the things that you talk about and the things that you think about, which is people after having some sort of meeting, either it's pitching for investor or trying to bring in a co-founder or whatever. Sometimes I listen, I don't understand. The guy didn't understand. How is it possible? I explained everything. I gave all the details. I gave, all the numbers. I gave you all the facts. I gave you the vision, the mission, the whatever. But the guy didn't understand. And without saying that, we kept feeling that we keep feeling that it's like a sense of these guys are dumb. Why can't I understand? It's because we are just choosing dumb people to talk to, or is it the way, probably the other way around? What do you think?
Well, there are a couple of truths. Um, Number one is we are not who we think we are. We're not even who we are. We're who they think we are. And a lot of times our miscommunication is that we're really not connecting and being relevant to our audience. People say, what do you do? And frequently when I say, what do you do? People will spend their time telling me what's most interesting to them, and that is how they do it. That really doesn't add much. It doesn't tell me why they're doing it. What's the purpose? When I say to people, what do you do? Which is the most common question we're going to get in the startup world. What do you do? I don't want to know how you do it. What I want to know is answer the three things for me. Number one, why do you deserve to be in the cosmos? What's the problem you're solving or the opportunity that you're allowing me to tap? Are you doing something no one's done before? Are you doing something that someone's done before, but you can do better? Or maybe someone's done it better, someone's done it first, but you have a better story. So number one is, why do you deserve to be in the cosmos? The second part is the most important part, and that is, why should your audience care? Find that thing that connects their needs to what you're offering. Then it becomes their story, not just our story. And then there's a third element that entrepreneurs sometimes in their pitches forget about, and that is being very clear about the next step, which is, okay, now that we understand each other, what do we do next? And this is the thing that promotes the, okay, now tell me more. It's creating connection between your content and someone else. So the savvy presenter is the one who really understands how to analyze the message, analyze the audience, and create that thing that piques engagement, makes the concept simple, memorable, and drives action. And that's what I'm trying to do. I've developed a model that I've been teaching for a very long time, that I did finally commit to a book. And it spells out essentially 110 guidelines that successful presenters or message givers can employ. The book also has something very neat, and that is a companion workbook with 35 worksheets that really track people step by step through the process, so stuff doesn't fall through the cracks. So in the end, you get something that's a very good message, one that's going to stand out from all the other messages out there. But it's also going to give people the confidence to be able to deliver it very effectively, because they know they understand their audience, they know that they have their content nailed. And just we're seeing really game-changing and extraordinary results. I'm trying to move people away from the standard pitch, the pitch we give at the end of our process when we have to beg for something, money, market, story you need from day one.
Chuck, we're 4 minutes away from the end of this very fast conversation, so I would like to have you organize in terms of priorities the next 3 words or 3 sentences. When I'm talking to someone, pitching whatever, it doesn't matter. Is it about me? Is it about my idea or my dream or my project? Or is it about the person that is listening to me? How do you organize this?
It is about them. You can be the subject matter. You can be the hero. You can be the salvation for their problem or their need. But they have to see either one of two things. Either they identify, Pedro can help me, or that's that direct identification. I'm going to be the direct beneficiary of your story, of your message. Or it doesn't have to solve my problem, but it could empathize. You could create empathy so that I feel for the people who you're trying to help. And frankly, that's how many ideas are accelerated, because people either identify you're solving my problem or you're solving a problem that I think is important.
Chuck, we have just another minute left, so I want to leave you this minute to say 2 things. The first 30 seconds is the best tip you can give to someone that is trying to communicate his or her idea to someone that is relevant. And the second 30 seconds will be, why should I buy and read your book? And by the way, what's the name of the book?
It's called It's strategies and stories, getting others to listen like you and say, tell me more. And it's available on Amazon, and it's available globally at this point, hardcover and softcover. And it also comes with a 90-page download companion workbook that is essentially worth the price alone. It's been very helpful. It's been a game changer for I cannot tell you the number of companies. And what was the first part of that question again?
Why should I buy your book, or
Oh,
why is it
oh,
relevant for me?
well, because what it does is it provides guidelines, not just rules. Rules only apply to things that people have never done before, but we're all in this disruptive space and we're doing things that people haven't done before. So what I want to give people is the tools, guidelines, practices, a process so that they can make good decisions on their own. I want to move people away from these template-driven bullet, just ineffective pitches and presentations to really engaging an audience by letting them know that there is a connection between what you're providing and what their needs are. And ultimately, what I want readers to do is understand that they have the power to stand out and be remembered, and not just be that fleeting 5 or 10 or 15-minute presentation that dissipates like rain on a sidewalk on a hot day. No, we don't want that evaporation. What we want is we want to move that idea from short-term attention to long-term memory, so that you, as the entrepreneur, as the founder, as the job seeker, stand out, be remembered, be engaging, get people to internally smile and say, yeah, I connect to that. This is going to benefit me. I really want to know more.
Okay, so thank you very much, Chuck. It was a pleasure having this very small conversation with you. I hope it was teasing enough to make people actually go to Amazon.com and search for Chuck Goldstone's book, and especially, and most importantly, not just buy it but read it. I read it already, and trust me, it's worth the time. Actually, it has a great ROI, so I definitely recommend you to do so. So, Chuck, thank you very much for having the opportunity to have this conversation, and we'll keep in touch, and let's keep sharing the great news that we'll be generating from time to time to help. So, for those who have listened to you, I hope you enjoyed, and see you in the next video. Chuck, you want to say something before we leave?
Just find your voice, find your story, be confident. It's in there. Be the one who stands out, and you'll find life is much more rewarding if you understand the power of the story.
Great. Find your voice. Don't forget. See you in a few days. Take care. Cheers.